Life Lessons Learned from Performing Quantum Hypnosis Technique by Aurora Sky, cover by Brian Gilloni and edited by Hannah Russell. Introduction. Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, QHHT for short, has expanded my knowledge tenfold through performing and experiencing over 300 sessions. The late Dolores Cannon first introduced me to this revolutionary modality. She was a pioneer who paved the way and showed me what is possible once we tap into the subconscious mind. I read her books and was amazed by the information that was presented. Enhancing curiosity, I began to research QHHT on YouTube.com, which led me to Alba Weinman and Alice & Co. I would spend all my free time watching these videos and one day said to myself, I must learn how to do this. This encouraged me to sign up online for QHHT lessons from Dolores Cannon's daughter, Julia. Initially completing 25 free sessions on anyone I could find allowed me to gain experience and earn my certification. After approximately 6 months, I was able to find even more people willing to practice quantum healing, and my mind really started to expand. I discovered that when the higher self came through, it would say he or she when speaking through my client, as if speaking from a third person point of view. It amazed me at the moment of information that would come through when they were in a deep, somnambulistic state. I would have my clients come in with about 25 questions that they wanted answers to. Nothing was off the table when it came to their questions. This was the typical process of a session. Their higher self would come through to answer these questions. It was as if they were tuned into a higher power, and the answers came through flawlessly. I began to add health related questions to each of my sessions, such as water intake, vitamins levels, getting enough exercise, and chakra checkup. Each session would take 3 hours, bare minimum, and I took the time to go over their questions to make sure I understood what they were seeking. Many times, clients would speak of their traumas, their childhood, and what their major concern was for the session. I had to be willing to put in the time needed so that they feel comfortable with me as I am working with their subconscious. It takes a whole lot of trust for the session to be successful. I always knew from a young age that I wanted to help people heal, but had no idea that QHHT is what I would end up doing. I never knew that doing these sessions would also help my personal healing immensely and expand my consciousness. The gratitude I feel for those who allowed me to be a part of their healing journey is exponential. My hope is that you gain some knowledge from the following pages and learned why we exist here in this physical plane. Lesson 1. We are all star seeds. When I say this treatment is out of this world, many of my clients would literally go to another planet when entering into the past life regression portion of their QHHT session. They would basically astral travel to their home planet and take me on a tour of it through their experience. They would describe what they were looking at, what they ate for sustenance, and what they did with their time. I had no knowledge of the different star systems until I took part in these sessions. My clients would visit Andromeda, Sirius A and B, Arcturus, Orion, Pleiades, and many more. I would ask the higher self to come in and answer why my client needed to see this place. Typically, they would answer with, well, they feel very much alone on this earth and that they do not fit in. So, this was to jog their memory and remind them that they answered the call from earth. I would then ask, what do you mean by the call? Earth apparently sent out an SOS signal asking for assistance to help raise her frequency. As I learned that she is a living, breathing entity, and when her vibration gets too low, it throws the whole planet off. When this happens, it throws the whole galaxy off, and all of the Galaxies are more connected than we even know. Earth is apparently a very special place in this galaxy. Many beings from around the universe have played a part in building the life forms we have here. From the plants, animal kingdom, flora, fauna, and the DNA in humans, some beings give items from their planet to be taken from Earth back to theirs. My clients have always felt different, as if they never really felt at home here for some reason. After a QHHT, they understood their mission here on Earth, and then they felt much better. Many times their question would be, "What is my purpose?" And the higher self would say simply, "Just to be," meaning to be in the love state, the peaceful state. It changes as we gain programming, traumas, and start building up energetic walls. Many beings are in human form at this time to raise the frequency. Where they are from, the dark, light, and all of these emotions here do not exist there, and so they have a hard time with it. These nuances are also what makes Earth so unique. We can learn so much and expand our consciousness from all of this collective data. We are the Harvard of the galaxy, I have since learned. Only the souls that want to advance their knowledge quickly decide to incarnate here. However, some have been stuck here in karmic cycles for a long time. Some are playing the dark role for our learning, and others have become dark from choice. Earth is a free will planet, and most planets have laws that their inhabitants must abide by. Lesson 2: In Between Lives. As a past life regressionist performing quantum healing hypnosis technique, as well as BQH, beyond quantum hypnosis, I have learned what happens in between lifetimes. Beyond Quantum Hypnosis School involves different techniques that I use to bring clients to a portal, and then from that portal, they can go to past lives or to any place or time they see fit. Many go to in between lives. As a guide, I always take them to the death scene in their past life and then ask them to tell me how it happened. Sometimes this plays a role in their current life. For example, if someone had a traumatic death, it can cause some fears in their current life. Let's say someone has drowned in a past life. In this life, they may have a fear of deep water and or may not like to swim. Once the client gets to the bottom of their fears in a session, that fear can dissipate. They are able to see the bigger picture of their lifescape. Some clients visit the other side in between lifetimes. They explain that they visit their spirit guide, which is sometimes a relative who has passed. The spirit guide then shows them a movie reel of their lifetime, allowing them to witness the lessons that they have learned. The guide will point out times when they showed someone kindness. These are the times that truly matter. They then go over their soul contracts. A soul contract is a signed contract that a person makes with another soul before entering into the physical body for lessons. The client then sees and feels any karma that they have created around in the higher dimensions for a rest before reincarnating. A soul contract is a signed contract that a person makes with other souls to learn lessons. Another soul may sign up to be your perpetrator in a certain scenario so that you can experience what that would feel like. This may sound beyond belief, but it makes ever more sense to me over the years. How would we ever know what dark or light would feel like if we were never given the chance to experience such things? Some clients visit Source, Creator, in between lives, and they explain it as an all encompassing sun that feels so warm and loving, unlike anything they have felt on Earth. Of course, I let them stay there for several minutes so they can soak up all that radiant energy if it is to help them in the here and now. Originally, I assumed God was being like a human in the sky. However, I now recognize that he, she, is way much more than our brains can even comprehend. We all came from Source, then decided we wanted to experience being separate than for some silly reason. I suppose the whole goal is to find your way back to the source. With Earth, we have amnesia when we come into a body, forgetting our multidimensionality, our origin, and who we really are. A QHHT session, various healing modalities, and a near death experience can spark your memory. From these QHHT sessions, I have determined that we never really die. This is comforting news for those who fear death, as this is but a second in time of your overall journey. We are energy, and energy never dies. However, we do change forms. Our soul leaves the physical form, and on the other side, we may see a body, but it's not physical. I have learned a lot about my soul through these sessions, as much information comes up about me when clients are tuned into the 13th dimension. This dimension is where the record of everything exists and is called the Akashic Records. This is the ultimate library of information of everything that has ever existed. I typically ask my client's higher self how many lifetimes they have lived on this planet, and also information about myself has come up about me living over 930 lifetimes here. I am what they call an old soul, born into one of the first African tribes that existed on this planet. I love when information about myself comes up in sessions. It's such a treat. It is as if we all have psychic abilities that we can tap into, a truly fascinating phenomenon. Sometimes I ask how many lifetimes a client has lived here, and it's merely 7 lifetimes. This person is typically extra sensitive and empathic and prefers to live a lifestyle similar to that of a hermit because they do not understand humans. Typically, these types of clients are advanced souls and very loving, but do not feel as if they fit in. Well, I am here to tell you thank you for coming to this planet, and it is much appreciated that you came to share your high frequency energy here. Even if you feel like you are not doing enough, you most certainly are. Lesson 3: Karma and Soul Lessons. More lessons on karma and soul contracts will be illuminated in this chapter. We create karma when we purposely take someone's power away or treat them unkindly, and it was not in our soul contract with them. We incarnate here for many soul lessons. For example, a lover might come into your life to teach you the lesson of patience. You could always be in a hurry and on to the next thing, and your partner teaches you the beauty of the now by taking the time to breathe, to enjoy the moment, and to not be in such a hurry. This is just one of many lessons we may choose to learn. Even though you may have signed up to have a more negative experience, such as abuse, sometimes the soul can take the role too far or for far too long. In this case, they have created more karma. Karma will then need to be released through another lifetime with the same scenario to clear it for both souls. The number one way to release this karma, I have learned, is through forgiveness. This breaks those ties and releases the soul contract. It does not mean what the person did was right, okay, or even that you need them in your life. Some people come into our life just for a specific purpose and then they leave. It's hard to believe this, but at a soul level, we all actually love each other. It's especially hard to remember this when you are right in the mix of a soul contract. This is basically an illusion for our experience. Because these sessions, I was one of those that was holding on to a lot of grudges and unforgiveness for myself. I had many aha moments that made sense and helped me heal. Wow, did it feel lighter once I did. Also, my clients would feel much better about the scenarios that played out in their lifetimes. It's as if weight had literally been lifted off of their shoulders. We are all characters in a play, carrying out roles in our life, with Source, higher power being the director. When we see the bigger picture to the part we have been playing, and then choose to embody love, we no longer decide to play in the drama of good, bad. When we have gotten to the point where we just observe, instead of actively playing a role as a victim, perpetrator, light, dark, Republican, Democrat, etc. I believe we have mastered this third density realm. There is no wrathful God ready to punish you for doing bad. There is no hell either, only the one you have created in your mind. You see more clearly on the other side what you have done to others. You see the ripple effect you created. We are all connected more than we know. What would this world look like if we all chose to stop playing these roles? We are all teachers and students in this beautiful and grand design. Lesson 4: Angels and Guides. The next lesson I learned was about angels and guides. I never knew they were real until I actually spoke to them during a QHHT through my clients. They basically became a channel for them to speak. Apparently, we all have angels and guides and relatives that have passed over that are working with us from the other side of the veil. Sometimes my clients will meet with them in the astral realm for a message during their sessions. You knew that it would be hard to learn some lessons while here and would need some guidance from above. Since it's a free will planet, we have to call on them for assistance. Praying is just as important as meditation. Meditation is like tuning into a radio station, a frequency, so that you can communicate more easily with the higher dimensional guides and beings. When you raise your frequency and follow your path, you will see the signs, symbols, synchronicities, and messages they offer. Archangel Michael comes in to assist during my sessions for protection and helps assist in removal of entities with his blue healing light. Raphael and his green healing light comes in to clear and balance the chakras. Azrael comes through to help heal ancestral traumas. They each have a particular role to help humanity with, so don't forget to ask for their assistance. They do not judge us in any way. No task is too small either. You can even ask them to help you find your lost keys if you need to. It amazes me how many angels there are, and they each have unique abilities. I am so grateful for all of the help that they have given during my sessions and the help that they have given humanity. I also have to add that we have the ability to graduate from our guides depending if we have more awareness and expansion past the point of their ability to help. In this last year of 2021, I have graduated from my old guides because I learned my lessons, and those particular guides could no longer serve me with their abilities. I welcomed my new guides who are now assisting me on the path I call life, and I enjoy the dialogue I hear or see when they come in. It is such a beautiful experience. Lesson 5: Entity Attachments. So often during my body scan portion of the session, I discover that my client has picked up a spirit or entity at some point in their life. A body scan is when my client astral travels above their body and they look down to see if the body has any darker energy spots in the chakras or limbs. I had learned about it in the quantum hypnosis school, but there's nothing like experiencing it during a session. There are spirits who have not crossed over and gone to the light when they died. They may fear death or have unfinished business, and so they stay behind on earth. Depending on the circumstance, they latch onto a human body and basically live through that person. So the first time this came up in a session, she saw an anomaly energy on her neck that did not belong there. I then asked her to zoom in to find out what it might be. She said it's someone who hitched a ride. I asked, when did it attach? And she responded with, a drunken night in college. Mind you, I have to stay neutral during a session and not show a lot of emotion, as it can affect my client and their healing process. But I sure thought about how crazy this was and how often this might happen. So I go on to ask her higher self, what kind of issues has this spirit caused her all this time? And she said it caused her neck pain. I asked if she was ready to release it. I never force anything onto my clients. She says yes, and I ask if there are any angels available at this time to help assist me in removing this spirit and take it to the light, to where it belongs. Archangel Michael always steps up to the plate and takes the foreign spirit to the other side where their guides and relatives are waiting on them. I then fill that space with light so that there is not empty space in the aura. Since this session, I have learned that we open our aura up for these attachments in several ways. I am sure there are more ways, but these are what I have learned thus far. One way is through drinking or doing recreational drugs. When our body has become way too toxic, our spirit lifts up above the body, leaving it open for other things to enter. Another way my clients have picked up something is in a fit of rage or in fear. I had a client who picked one up as she was walking from her house to her neighbor's house one dark night, and fear took over her. Our aura opens up in those times as well. I find that over 50% of my clients have entities, spirits, or attachments on them that need to be removed if they are ready. I have to add that even though one may have these spirits, there are lessons from it as well. Spirits are beings who are earthbound, entities are from a lower dimension, and attachments are energies we have picked up from others. There is more info about this online and in other resources, such as the book Healing Lost Souls by William Baldwin, PhD. One way to keep this from happening in the future is to ground to Mother Earth. In doing so, you are grounded in your body instead of hovering above it, which could make you feel airy. Ground, protect, and clear your aura on a regular basis. In doing so, you will feel much better. Everything is energy, and we often pick up stuff from others. If you are a great alchemist, then you also know that the more light you shine, the more you can pick up that needs transmuting, like a moth to a flame. I recently discovered in a session that many lightworkers at this time are shining very bright in order to pick up these lost souls and assist them to the light. I have since learned how to do this myself. I also recommend the book Change Your Aura, Change Your Life, a step by step guide to unfolding your spiritual power by Barbara Martin. I read healing books daily to help with my sessions any way I can and to ensure that I am being a clear vessel for my clients to experience their healing. Lesson 6: Incarnation. We can come to Earth incarnated as an animal, sea creature, or even a rock to get acclimated to earthly life. Many have gone to a past life as an animal, and there are lessons we learn from this. We also experience being both male and female, after which we might favor being one over the other. This is why one shouldn't judge others for their sexual orientation, as we have been on both sides of the equation. Many times, my clients have regressed to another life being the opposite sex as they are now. I have them look down at their feet and tell me what they see, ask what they are wearing, whether they are male or female. The following elaborates a few of the lifetimes I have lived that have come up in my sessions: a priestess in Atlantis, a healer in Atlantis, Jesus, Yeshua's scribe and cousin, entertainer in New Orleans in the 1920s, part of the first African tribe on planet Earth. There is no hierarchy when it comes to lifetimes, as it does not matter if you have been famous, rich, or poor and unheard of. I've learned it is all for the experience. Only through our human eyes do we think someone is more special than another depending on status. We must let the ego go as we are all special. I have to mention that there is a level to your soul's growth, however. You would not say since you are in the 12th grade of school that you are smarter than the kindergarten level, would you? You are just where you are depending on experience. It may take one person 20 lifetimes to advance to the next level and another person one lifetime. When you have eternity, what is time anyway? Lesson 7: The Earth's Transformation. Through these sessions, I have learned that the Earth is now moving into the fourth density. Other names for Earth is Mother Gaia and Sophia. She is a living, breathing entity and is now going through a transition. The fourth density frequency is above duality as we are rising above the duality and into the observer mode. We have all signed up to play a role in this ascension. Some are playing the dark role and others the light for learning and expansion. We will be more heart centered and of service to others versus service to self as this shift occurs. And the heart center is our connection to Source and all of creation. There lies the truth that we are all connected. At one point, Earth really was a heaven on earth, and many galactic beings would vacation here. We will be back there again as the old ways of being fall away. What no longer serves the earth and all of her inhabitants will crumble. We have not been living sustainably, taking Earth's resources and forgetting to give back. There is an illusion in the third dimension that we are separate from Source and separate from each other, which in turn creates suffering. To think everything made here was once a thought. We are powerful creators, and we shall create a Garden of Eden once more. Humanity has been enslaved by dark archons for millennia, and we are waking up to this fact. We pay to live on a planet that we are born on. Nowhere else does this exist in all the galaxies. We have worked ourselves to death just to pay for living expenses. The top 1% have accumulated a lot of the wealth, and they are a service to self type of human. However, it is time that we take our power back and stop playing the victim. It is time for us to save ourselves. We are so much more powerful than we know, and the programming we have been taught has kept us from remembering who we are. We are the Savior we have been looking for. The Christ consciousness will be activated in many humans who are ready to turn their light on and be of service. The high heart chakra, thymus, above the heart is where this energy center exists in each of us. We all can tap into the density frequency that Jesus, Yeshua, was in when he walked the physical plane. He was in a fourth density state when he existed here. I've since learned a lot about who this being is through my sessions. He travels to many planets to help them ascend to the next level. Many beings have incarnated from a higher density down to this lower one to help with the ascension process. There are 13 dimensions, and as the earth rises up to the next level, so do all the souls, beings on all the other levels, as we are all connected. My personal advice is to turn your light on. Be kinder to yourself, others, plants, and animals. Drop everything that no longer serves you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you know until you learn it now. You awaken at the right time for your soul's growth. Forgiving yourself as well as others will instantly raise your frequency. Some people have simply forgotten who they are and are suffering tremendously. Healing is needed for ancestral traumas, past life traumas, childhood wounds, and everything is going to come to the surface to be healed. I believe that once we balance the light and dark within us, this balancing of duality will naturally occur on the planet. I made the choice to be that change I wish to see. As Gandhi would say, I released the judgment I had about myself for the past, as well as the shame and guilt that were no longer serving me. I felt so much weight being lifted off my body as I did this. It is up to you if you want to continue on with the wars, fear, lack, and suffering, or if you would rather live in truth, love, abundance, and gratitude mindset. Our Creator loves us so much that He, she, it lets us choose. A timeline split will be happening at some point. Some of my clients have gotten downloads of information in their meditation about this and want to ask their higher self this question during the QHHT. Every time the answer is soon. The ones that choose to be in the fourth density get to build a new earth. The others who choose to carry out the third density will be taken off planet to another star system where they can carry out the hierarchy, greed, power struggles. There are thousands of QHHT practitioners from around the world getting the same information coming through in their sessions. And you can research it on YouTube or by investigating other practitioners that I follow, such as Allison Co., Alba Weinman, Candace Craw Goldman, Quantum Healing Within, New Earth Ascending, Michael, etc. We all have the ability to connect to this collective consciousness through quantum hypnosis or during an inward journey. Are you ready to ascend to the next level of consciousness? Lesson 8, Trapped Emotions. Many clients come in with physical ailments that they wish to get to the root of during a session. Once they are in a deep state of relaxation, they are able to astral travel above the body to see the energetic body and where the imbalances lie. They tell me that they see a dark spot, and I ask them to zoom in on the area and get a closer look. Many times it is a trapped emotion. It has been discovered that the ailments we take on are from traumas from past lives, childhood, and/or emotions that have not been fully released. The symptoms of physical pain are an indicator, the body's check engine light, I always say. The higher self has the wisdom on the information of when, how, and why the imbalance got there and some of the ways to heal it. Most of the time, the higher self says the medication they are on will never heal it, and it takes some inner healing to completely diminish the discomfort. When we say things like, I am sick, or I have such and such disease, we are actually feeding the blocked energy. It is better to say, I am healed, or I am healing from such and such, because this is telling your body to start the healing process. After all, we are the captain of our ship. I have done a lot of research on healing the body and highly recommend the book by Dolores Cannon's daughter, Julia Cannon, called Soul Speaks, which lists many ailments and possible psychological causes behind them. Another book I recommend is Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. I continually use the book Messages from the Body by Dr. Michael Lincoln during my Lift on Therapy sessions. A documentary to watch is called Heal on the Gaia Network. Researchers are finding out more and more that our body is talking to us, and we just have to take the time to sit still and listen. Our mind, body, and spirit have to be in alignment for optimal health and homeostasis. I believe we are all capable of self-healing when it comes to trapped energy. We have an unlimited supply of energy we can tap into when we meditate and are capable of clearing it away. Of course, we have angels we can call upon to help as well. My clients typically want to add a color and emotion that serves them into the space where we clear the trapped emotion energy, as color and frequency are powerful healers. In addition, some clients possess diseases and ailments due to karma, and these blockages are not meant to be cleared away as these are their soul lessons. Someone might choose to come into the world with a handicap. With this lesson, they teach so many others compassion, and it is the fastest way to clear karma. To help others learn compassion and love is such a gift. It is a beautiful concept that we are able to teach each other for expansion of our souls and that nothing is by accident. Lesson 9, Soulmates and Soul Groups. Many people incarnate in soul groups. This is a group of souls who play different roles in each life for our learning. I may play a role of the mother to a soul in one life and in the next play the child. If you meet someone and feel as if you have known them before, chances are you have. I have to mention that even though you were born into a family, it does not mean they are part of your soul group. As my clients exit a lifetime and go to the in-between life stage, they say they go to their pod or group. They see a color for their group of souls at the same level of learning as them. Apparently, our soul color changes as we advance. We hang out with our level of souls on the other side. If you have advanced to 12th grade, so to speak, then you would not hang out with the first graders. Your birth family may be in an entirely different pod, and you can visit them. Also, we all have an energy color at the core and have recently discovered mine is violet, and I am a soul who chooses to teach others about spirituality. Our soul color is different from our aura color, as our aura can change daily. Our soul color changes as we advance. From what I have gathered, a white soul is a new soul or baby soul. On to the next lesson. Lesson 10, A Free Will Planet. As mentioned in an earlier chapter, I have learned that Earth is a magnificent school and free will planet. Earth is the Harvard of the galaxy, and our soul can grow much quicker here. We get to experience the light, the dark, and all of the emotions available in human form. If we had no darkness, how would we know the difference? Not all planets in the galaxy have the option of free will. We came into this life with the veil of illusion, which is thinning over time as we come into the time of illumination. With this veil of illusion, people have forgotten their connection with the ultimate creator. We immediately have that longing to go back to the source, where the most beautiful warmth and unconditional love is felt. I know many ponder, why would God allow so much suffering? Again, this is because this is a free will planet. You choose to come here to experience this separation, and we spend our lives getting back to that oneness connection. When we feel this oneness again, we have increased understanding and have a wiser perspective of all that exists. It's as if you have a child that keeps making the wrong decision, which is preventing them from growing, but you love them anyway, just as our Creator loves us. We have spirit guides to help us along the way, but ultimately all of our choices are up to us. Many people are going through their awakening at this time, remembering who they are and why they came here. It is such a beautiful unfolding. Meditation and prayer are keys to our understanding. The answers are waiting for us when we tap into the heart space, open the crown chakra to let the light and the truth into our being. It is all within, as you are a spark of the Creator. Lesson 11, Governors on the Body. I have discovered that there is such a thing as a governor of the body. Just as there are governors on a car to prevent it from going past a certain speed, there are governors on the body, preventing our gifts from coming online. This phenomenon was first revealed to me by my client named Matt. His session can be found on my YouTube channel under Healing with Aurora. When we came to the body scan portion of the session, he said that he saw two governors placed on his head. I asked him to explain further, and he said, I placed them on my body before I was born and knew I would be able to take them off when I was ready. He goes on to say, you wouldn't give a child a motorcycle, as that could be very dangerous. Our gifts will be able to come online once we have spiritually advanced in order to use them properly. If we had all of our psychic gifts and healing gifts as a child, it could possibly scare us, and or we could use them in the wrong way, leading to more hurtful things instead of helpful. Matt apparently was ready to remove them. I later found out that I was meant to fill the space with light where they were removed, as this caused a huge headache for my client after his session. This is something I did not learn in my Qhht school, and since then I have been doing the correct protocol after the removal of governors. My client said he has two governors on me as well, and they have since been removed. I now feel more empathy and hear spirit speaking to me more easily. I am sure all my gifts have not come online fully, but am truly excited about helping assist with humanity ascension. We develop our gifts throughout lifetimes. The gifts I incarnated with are increased intuition and divine manifestation. I learned this from an Akashic record reading. The Akash, as previously mentioned, is in the 13th dimension and is the library that holds all of the information from the beginning of time. It is equivalent to a supercomputer for the universe. We all hold gifts that will come online at the right moment, and when they do, we are to use them to help humanity. Lesson 12, Ancestral Trauma. As a collective, we hold a lot of ancestral traumas. The traumas are encoded into our DNA and have to be cleared out. Some of our ancestors have been slaves or may have been in the Nazi Germany camps, and it is affecting our energy right now. Once I had a client regress to a lifetime when they were taken to the shower room to be gassed, and they knew what was coming, so they huddled together with others to say their goodbyes. It was a hard past life death scene to hear. The client was holding on to energy from that lifetime, so he needed the energy cleared away. I asked which angel was available to clear it, and Archangel Azrael showed up for the session. I've since learned that Archangel Uriel can help assist with ancestral clearing as well. Azrael brings in a magenta color to clear it away. I believe the biggest trauma that needs clearing is the slavery aspect. Many souls have experienced being slaves for the Anunnaki, who had us mine gold for them a long time ago. They were much more advanced than us at the time, and so we looked up to them like gods. The Anunnaki would then take the gold back to their ships, which would carry it back to their planet for a conductor, and this has to be cleared on a massive level. Once again, we need to take our power back. Also, slavery energy needs cleared for those with the African American lineage. Some people have been slave owners and some have been slaves to the black white rhetoric. The media is still feeding into these themes today, trying to separate us from our natural state of collective consciousness. It is time to clear this energy from our DNA once and for all so that we may experience a more unified consciousness for our future. The time is now to clear away what has been passed down and our ancestors are rooting us on from the other side. Lessons 13. Water is life. I always ask during my sessions, are you drinking enough water, meditating enough, or eating the right foods for your health? Most of the time, the higher self replies with a no. Many people do not drink enough water for optimal health. And when we don't get enough, we have less energy and our bodies can feel lethargic, less vital. The higher self always mentions to bless the water and food before consuming because this changes the vibratory rate of these items before ingesting them into your sacred vessel. Water helps detoxify, keeping our vibration up. Water is life, and we sometimes take it for granted. Meditation is another element that helps keep the vibration up. The higher self generally gives a rule of thumb of 20 minutes in the morning to set your energy for the day, and then 20 minutes in the evening to clear your energy and set yourself up for a good night's sleep. During my personal meditations, I imagine a golden white energy coming into my crown and clearing away anything that I may have picked up from others throughout the day. All of my sessions are saying to stop drinking and eating dairy because it causes our bodies inflammation. We were never meant to consume dairy products. At some point in evolution, we needed it to survive. However, this is not the case anymore. Take it or leave it, this is a culmination of the information I have learned in conjunction with what has come up in many quantum hypnosis sessions. Other than that, everyone's body and DNA are different and need various things to sustain their unique body system. I have to add that processed foods are another thing that lowers our vibrational frequency. In QHHT sessions, I have asked what is the highest vibration food on this planet at this time, and the answer was kale. Leafy greens in general keep our frequency up, and meats lower it. In my practice and my personal life, I work to maintain a system that is free from judgment. The QHHT sessions help ensure this neutrality. I once performed QHHT on a client whose higher self came in to tell both of us that his system required him to eat meat to stay in his body. My client was at such a high frequency that he needed the meat to stay in his body. Otherwise, his etheric body would be flying above the body and he would not be grounded. My client volunteered to come down from a higher dimension to help assist this one ascend with his angelic presence. So many beautiful souls are incarnated at this time to help raise the frequency of this planet. And I am grateful for each and every one because I know this is not an easy task. Lesson 14. Everything is consciousness. I have learned through my sessions that everything is an experience of consciousness at some level. Some souls first incarnate on Earth as a rock, a tree, an insect, or animal to get acclimated to Earth's energy. We have the opportunity to treat everything on Earth with kindness, as everything accumulates the energy we feed it. Dr. Emoto explains this energetic phenomenon when he discovered what energy does to water. As in his experiments, he fed the water with words or certain sound frequencies, and the outcomes are very informative. Our energy affects everything around us. The following is a personal account of a time when my energy affected my car's electronics. I was out searching on the highway in the dark for my son's car as he had broken down. He said he was really close to a busy byway turn on the interstate, and so I was nervous, experiencing physical symptoms of anxiety, and my breathing was erratic. All of a sudden, my car started acting up, making a putting sound, as if it was about to break down. Mind you, I have never had problems with my car, and it is fairly new. My car was literally shaking just like I was. I then reminded myself to start breathing deeper and realized my energy was being transferred to the car. Once I did this, it immediately stopped. How amazing is that? We are so much more powerful than we know. We can affect electronics. Notice when you are having an off day, how people and even your electronics respond to your energy. We are all energy, and Einstein said it best. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. However, it can be transferred. Knowing what I know now from my sessions and research, I talk to my car, telling it I am grateful for it and thanking it for getting me to where I need to be. I believe at some level it is conscious and feels the grateful vibrations I am emitting. After all, everything that makes up the car is made from earth material. I treat everything that I come into contact with in a manner of kindness and gratitude because I know that it is all temporary and I truly own nothing. Appreciate everything, but be attached to no thing. This is a mantra I like to adhere to. Lesson 16. Extraterrestrials. I've always been curious about other life forms in the galaxy, knowing innately that we are not alone. Since doing these sessions, I have learned a great amount of information about other life forms around the universe, as it is vast and full of life. I had read Dolores Cannon's first book called The Custodians, which first opened my mind to the many different species. She first began doing hypnosis sessions on people that had been abducted. I say this loosely because most of the time the clients willingly went to the ships. Not until I actually spoke with these beings through my sessions did I really feel it was true. Some of my clients feel as if it were a dream and that they felt like they floated up to a ship and remember being on a metal table. So during the QHHT, we can regress to that time, and sure enough, they were being taken up to their star family ships to be checked on. It was an agreement before incarnating to be checked on and see how the person was evolving. Another time, my client Brian channeled the Octurians during his session. His breathing became erratic and he started to sound different than normal, and I asked, "Who am I speaking with?" They replied with, "This is the Octurian family, and we are here to remind him of who he is and his mission." That was pretty wild to experience for the first time, as you can imagine my face when I was told this. I was eager to learn more. I have since then spoken with beings from Pleiades, Orion, Sirius, and many more. I can unequivocally say we are not alone and that we are not the most advanced species either. We are in the teenage stage of evolution, getting help from many other species that wish for us to ascend. Just as there are beings with a service to self mindset, there are extraterrestrials that have that same mindset. The self serving ones have been taking humans and materials from us with no intention of returning them. The truth of this matter will become public knowledge soon. I am not here to sugarcoat anything, and I believe it is time humanity knows and sees the truth while coming out of this disillusion. The truth shall set us free. There are many ships right now hovering above Earth to observe this show as it unfolds. Apparently, the awakening of humanity is the talk of the town. Once humanity has awakened to who we are, then we can join our galactic team on the light table. At this table, we converse with beings from around the galaxy about the state of affairs going on in each galaxy. These ascended beings have been patiently waiting for humanity to join them. I have learned that I am on the Church Council of Warriors on the Orion star system. You can hear this information on my YouTube channel named Healing with Aurora, and it is labeled QHHT with David. It was my first time meeting my client in this life, and apparently, this client and I are on the same council. I love when information comes through about myself organically. Lesson 17, Karma. I have learned what karma is and what it entails in a human life. There is no condemning God telling you that you messed up and that you are going to hell. After you are finished with this life and get acclimated to the spirit realm, you then look over your life review and see how you affected others in a negative way. If you see that you purposely caused harm and this was not part of your soul contract, then you have created karma. It is up to you to decide to reincarnate in order to clear this karma and make it right. The next incarnation, you may have to play the role of the victim to the person you hurt to feel the other side of the situation. As you do to others, you do to yourself, and you see this from a new perspective on the other side of the veil. Once we learn the lesson and forgive ourselves as well as the perpetrator, then we release this karma and there is no need to experience it any further. If you wish to feel lighter and release any karma, then state out loud these words: I forgive myself for the harm I caused in any way throughout time and space. I forgive others who have hurt me in any way. I now take my power back and cut any cords that may be between us. And so it is. This statement can clear it up if said with intention and feelings behind it. Words are so powerful that the universe will respond to them, and it is now written in your Akashic records. After I did this release for myself, I now come from a place of unconditional love. I now have the understanding that we are all from the same source and that we are all on different stages of our soul's evolution. I am no better or worse than anyone. Lesson 18, Jesus and who he truly is. Throughout my sessions, information about Jesus has come through. I actually had a lifetime with him and believe I am to carry on his teachings. In this past lifetime, I was his scribe and cousin. This knowledge is within me and I am tapping into it now. He was not from Earth. He volunteered to come down to this density to help assist the humans to ascend and evolve. It was a very dark time in that the controllers did not want his teachings out there. Because if everyone knew the truth of their own personal power, the control of the hierarchy system could not continue. Ultimately, shifting the power imbalances would end the cycles of control and manipulation, and the controllers would lose their ability to control. It was a miraculous event when Jesus was born and the Star of Bethlehem was his star's family ship. So much of the Bible has been misconstrued and misinterpreted. From what I have learned through my sessions, he is not physically coming back, but can channel through anyone with their heart chakra, high heart, and crown chakra open and ready for the information to come through. We all have the capabilities to be at the same frequency that he was when he incarnated. This is the Christ consciousness. At this time, so many people are living at this frequency. They are in your grocery stores, your bus drivers, and all over the earth performing mundane, everyday tasks, yet hold a high frequency of light. Many are just holding this Christ light and helping raise the light quotient of the planet to balance it out. Yeshua ben Joseph, also known as Jesus, taught us how to heal using our hands. He was a great teacher and healer. I use my hands for my sessions to channel light. I have been certified in quantum touch, healing touch, and Reiki in order to learn how I can best serve my clients. I always start my healing sessions with an intention. I also call on my angels, guides, as well as their guides to help with the session. When the energy starts flowing, I feel heat and a tingling sensation. It is really neat to experience. I sometimes add colors to my hands, visualizing, and sound frequencies by humming. These all add to the experience. I highly recommend two books that have the truth of Jesus and what he was teaching us. The first is A Course in Miracles Made Easy. The original author did not want to put her name on the book because she believed it to be channeling Jesus and did not want to take credit. Also, Dolores Cannon's book called They Walked with Jesus. After several of her clients regressed to a lifetime with Jesus, she decided to put all the different perspectives of the events into it. I felt the truth in my heart as I read it. He was able to go into the village of leprosy and not catch the disease because he did not fear it, and he had knowledge of self healing. Leprosy disease was a disease that affected the nervous system and caused the loss of limbs as well as skin ulcers and scabs. He would tell his students, those who traveled along with him, that the emotion of fear lowers one's frequency, which allows the disease or illness to come in. In the book They Walked with Jesus, this young woman named Naomi follows him to this village to assist him, and she asks him why both of them were not getting sick. Jesus would go into the darkest of places with no fear to bring the light, the truth. He sent so many ripples into consciousness when he came here, and I am very much in gratitude for his service on earth, as well as the work he is doing in the ethers currently. You can ask Jesus to work with you in your meditations. Imagine a golden light coming into your crown. This is the Christ light, and will heal and clear. I am grateful for those who are on the path to the light, who are being of service and being the change we wish to see. Lesson 19, Atlantis and the Lost Cities. Many of my clients have regressed back to a lifetime in Atlantis and Lemuria, what were once real places here on this planet. Lemuria was full of ancient knowledge and we were highly advanced spiritually. Meanwhile, Atlantis expanded and added technology. We were once highly advanced in our technology and spirituality, and these beings were balanced. After some time, we became unbalanced and then started going in the wrong direction. We used crystals for lighting our city as well as for healing purposes. There were temples that you could not access unless you had learned how to levitate to enter them, as they were physically high up and could not be reached otherwise. In the session with my client Matt, he takes me to a time when I was his student and I was graduating as a healer. He explained how the healing caves were set up, where the light would enter through the top and then bounce off of a crystal onto the person on the table, using an energetic grid and instantly healing them. I hope to see this technology come back. Many people I have come across over the years remember their Atlantean lifetimes. They remember the fall of Atlantis and the pain associated with the fall, as well as associated feelings of guilt that are still stored within their DNA. Many people need to heal this currently. Apparently, we had gone too far with the energy production and almost blew ourselves up. So the Pleiadians chose to flood us to prevent our demise. We lowered in vibration and were doing experiments that were not natural. This is happening again at this very moment. We can access the knowledge we learned from those lifetimes right now by tapping into the Akashic records. Basically, during my sessions, my clients are accessing this knowledge. As we remember who we are, this knowledge that we have used for healing will be flowing through us, and illness will be a thing of the past. A few books I suggest for channeled knowledge on Atlantis and Lemuria are The Pleiadian Agenda, Discover Atlantis, and A Hypnotist Journey to Atlantis. Sarah Cosme is the author of A Hypnotist Journey to Atlantis and is a QHHT practitioner. After several clients regressed back to that time period, she decided to put it into a book. She was recently interviewed on my favorite show, Open Minds with Regina Meredith, on the Gaia Network. From my sessions, the books, and interviews, the puzzle pieces have come together. I believe this ancient land will be revealed as the earth changes. It will be physically brought to the surface, and then we can learn so much from that time period. We are about to be in the same time period energetically as the stars align. We are moving into the age of Aquarius, and the last time we were in the age of Aquarius, we were at the top of our game there. We will be rising to the occasion again, tapping into the ancient knowledge and a higher frequency way of being. Lesson 20. What is time? Time is nothing but an illusion that was man made to keep us in a slave like 9 to 5 mentality. We always feel we never have enough of it, when in reality we have forever. This life is but a blink of an eye in our ultimate reality. Time is not what you think it is. It appears to be linear, but it is not. My clients sometimes go to past lives and other times to future lives. How is this possible? How do psychics and oracles know about the future timelines? It is hard to understand with our human brains that everything is happening simultaneously. The first time I discovered this, my client was describing what appeared to be an indigenous tribe living among the trees and in huts. They were really connected to the earth and would speak telepathically with the plants and animals. They spent their time creating rather than having what we would consider to be a job. I assumed this was an ancient past life, but then discovered otherwise. When it came time for the higher self to come in and answer questions, she explained that this was her future life in the new earth. Oh, how this excited me. I have now watched other QHHT practitioner sessions with their clients progress forward to the new earth, and their experiences match. Apparently, the earth goes through much transformation, physically and energetically. In the future, there will be a split, and those that want to be a part of this new earth and be heart centered will stay and make this happen. Our bodies will be more crystalline, and we will not need much food. We evolved to a vegan diet, then just smoothies, then progressed to just needing the sun for energy. Many species on other planets are already there in that state of progression and only needing the sun for energy or a little bit of liquid substance. This is all great news for those who believe it will all be doom and gloom. It is going to get much crazier before it gets better, as everything falls away that no longer serves the earth. Humans are not one for change, but it is so needed. Mother Earth is in a chrysalis stage like a butterfly and will be sprouting a new version of herself. I, for one, am excited about this, and it gives me hope for the future, even if I am not able to fully see her rebirth. Let us envision a world with peace, connection, wisdom, expansion, play, and creativity, because as we hold these visions, we are making it happen. Lesson 21. Programming. Who are we if we take away all the programming and beliefs that have been taught to us? It has been said that our beliefs and programming have been holding humanity back. There is so much more than we even know that exists. These installations of beliefs and programs by society, by our parents, by doctrine teachings are holding each of us back. This information has come up in multiple sessions. My clients' religious teachings are holding them back from the truth. There are truths in all religions, as well as false truths. I've discovered my own programs and released them. It has changed my life. I had a belief that I was not good enough, I was unwanted, abandonment issues, that I was a sinner at birth, and so many more. These are all not true. I am so worthy of the love I deserve. I am worthy of abundance. I have all the love inside of me and do not need it to come from a parent to feel loved or appreciated. It does not need to come from an outside source. I am not a sinner at birth and need not to be in those lower states of being. It does not serve me at all or the people in my life to live a life of shame and guilt. After clearing these things and stepping into my knowing of who I am, so many miraculous changes have happened for me. I am so grateful that my services of QHHT, BQH, and Lift on Therapy can help others transform their lives too. You can find more info on Lift on Therapy at www.liift.info. It is a modality that can release past traumas and programs instantly. As far as the programs and beliefs go, do not believe what anyone has told you of who you are. Take the time to be by yourself to discover the jewels in your treasure chest. You are so much more than you have been led to believe. Go within to discover who you are. You are way more than the roles you have been playing as mother, sister, brother, husband, wife, adult, child. Who am I? I am a multi-dimensional light being who came to Earth to incarnate and play many roles to expand my consciousness. I chose to be love. I choose to be my authentic self. I choose to let my light shine, no matter who or what is around. I will no longer dim my shine or allow others to dim it. My mission is to help humanity in their awakening of who they are. I will be of service and always choose love over fear. Who are you? Lesson 22: The Crystal Children. So many people have come to me with stories of their young ones knowing so much wisdom at a young age. The things they say they can't possibly know at such a young age. They are wise beyond their years because these are old souls or volunteers from higher dimensions to help humanity. Their gifts will be fully online at birth and will not come in with any karma. This is the third wave of volunteers, as mentioned in Dolores Cannon's book, Three Waves of Volunteers. Each generation, the planet gets lighter and lighter, and then it is easier for the volunteers to come and assist the Earth. Just because your child is in a small body doesn't mean anything. They could be a very advanced soul and have wisdom to teach you. The crystal or indigo children have a lot to offer humanity, such as being playful, creative, and letting the inner child out. Somewhere along the way, we were so busy adulting and taking life too seriously that we forgot to spend time creating, laughing, and being in the joy state. They are here to remind us that we do not have to live this way. We are so stressed out and making ourselves sick for nothing. Please allow your child to speak their truth, feel their emotions, be themselves, play, and create. This will shift and do wonders for the planet's vibration. I will have classes for these crystal children to meet with other like minded kids to help in their development. These classes will be a part of my nonprofit meetups. If you know of anyone with a gifted child or have one yourself, do not hesitate to email me at collectiveccc@gmail.com with any questions, concerns, or comments. The Collective Consciousness Center is based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Epilogue. In closing, I hope you have enjoyed these lessons I have learned from quantum healing hypnosis sessions. My hope is to shed some light on questions that so many have about life on this planet, the why we are here, and the purpose of it all. I hope that humanity awakens to their full potential and that we choose the path of light to make this place where we live a beautiful, pure, and high vibrational place once more. Please do not fall for the rhetoric of divide and conquer. In this critical time, we must come together. We must take our power back. We must rise above duality. We have to stop judging each other. Let's stop being pawns in this political warfare, shall we? It is time for change. This way of living currently is not serving us spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. It will seem like things are really dark at times, but remember that the light will win in the end. It has been described in one session like, you're about to see a play and the room is dark and the curtains haven't opened yet for the play. Then the curtains open and the light comes on for the big show. Another session said, it's like you are on an airplane and there is a crash landing. But just as you're about to hit the ground, the angels save it from hitting the ground and you are okay. Remember this when you are in the mix of things. Have hope and faith that the light wins. You are not alone, even if it feels like it sometimes. Invite your soul tribe to enter your life, those people that get you on a soul level, and they will start showing up. How do I know this? Because my tribe has shown up after I set this intention. The universe hears you, so speak up. Peace and blessings to you. My name is Aurora Sky. I am a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. I am a beyond quantum hypnosis practitioner. I am a lift on therapy kinesiologist, www.liift.info. I am a Reiki master. I am. I can be reached at healingaurora@gmail.com for a free Zoom consultation. Hypnosis sessions can be done remotely through Zoom or in person in Cincinnati, Ohio.